Hello and welcome to the Gale Below News. The EU says it will act decisively if the US goes ahead with a threat to put new tariffs on its goods. It is the latest twist in a long-running row with Washington over subsidies granted to the plane maker Airbus. For more than a decade, the US and the EU have accused each other of propping up their home aviation markets with tax breaks, research grants and other aid. Last month, the US threatened duties on EU goods such as beer, gin and olives, escalating the row. On Monday, Europe's Trade Commissioner Phil Hogan said Washington had rejected moves to settle the dispute. I want to reassure the public that we are ready to act decisively and strongly on the European Union side if we don't get the type of outcome that we expect from the United States in relationship to finalising this 15-year-old dispute, he told the European Parliament's Trade Committee. The World Trade Organization has already ruled that subsidies given by the EU to Airbus in 2004 were illegal. However, it is also considering a parallel case involving illegal support for US aerospace firm Boeing, which could see the EU impose duties on Washington later this year. In line with the WTO ruling, the US last year imposed tariffs of between 15 and 25% on $7.5 billion worth of European goods. But in June, the US said it was considering new taxes on additional EU trade worth $3.1 billion annually, a move described as excessive by Brussels. On Monday, Mr. Hogan also criticised recent national security investigations launched by the US against EU goods, suggesting they may also be a form of retaliation. The investigations, known as 232 investigations, cover products from transformers and mobile cranes to steel nails. It's not appreciated the number of 232 investigations that have been launched in recent weeks. Perhaps this is political, perhaps it's more real, Mr. Hogan said. This is totally unacceptable, he said. If these investigations go further, the European Union will have to stand together and act as well. The US is also involved in other trade spats with the EU. Before last year's tariffs over Airbus, the Trump administration had imposed duties on EU steel and aluminium, spurring Brussels to tax iconic US products such as denim jeans and motorcycles. Mr. Trump has also threatened duties on European cars, a particular concern to Germany. So what do you think of this trade war between the EU and the US? I personally see it's just going to continue going. All countries, even within the EU, they can't agree things between themselves. I mean, we as the UK are actually leaving. We just had enough. It's just too much. I personally do not subscribe to the policy of the freedom of movement, which is a big, kick in the teeth for me. So I can fully understand how frustrating the EU is and why the US just doesn't want to engage with them. Whatever you think, leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.